Crystal with Hattie's Hierophant. I am your tarot reader. I have missed you guys so much, and I've been meditating for about a week on whether or not to post a video about the coronavirus. I have a great understanding just by me even saying that it is now even triggering some of us, especially in different parts of the world. And if this is affecting you in any kind of way, please know that I am sending love and light your way. I wanted to come to you all and see if there's any messages that I could get from my oracle deck, from spirit, from source, to tell us how we can get through this together. And I want to start with the center card. And just so you know, I am using the Angels and Ancestors deck. It is absolutely magical. I absolutely love them. I get so much beautiful energy from this deck, and I'm grateful to have them. I am using the Celtic Compass spread, and if you see me look over to the left here, I just know that I took some notes just to try to keep me on track, because what can happen is when I start getting messages, I start going all over the place. So I'm trying to keep myself organized for us. Now, with this spread, the center card represents spirit. It represents my energy, your energy, our energy. And I love, collective, that our energy is that of the sun. And the reason I love it so much is for so many obvious reasons. In this deck, and even in traditional tarot, that is one of success. If you're asking a yes or no question, that's a yes, right? Will we find an antidote? Yes. Will we get through this? Yes. In addition to that, it's the energy of light. Things that are in the dark will be shown to us. Things that are hidden will be seen in the light. What else happens in the light? What else happens in the sun? Things grow, things develop, right? And at a much faster rate. So we can expect that. Immediately after that, I go to our earth energy. And our earth energy is where we are grounded, or where we should ground ourselves, where we are encouraged to keep ourselves grounded. Because let's face it, this is a time where we can get outside ourselves, outside our energy that we work so hard to maintain. Because if you're watching this video, I already know that's who you are. And Spirit calls on us to have that summertime energy. What does that mean? Think about when you were a small child, school was out and summertime is here, right? It was like no burdens. You felt free. You felt energized. You put on your shorts. All the flowers are bloomed. Everything is growing. You can pick the apples off the tree. It just was a fruitful time. It's one of joy and activity. It's one of gathering and of friendships. This is the energy that Spirit is asking us to keep us grounded, that those times are coming again. Not one of separation and social distancing, but one where we can hold hands again, where we can get together again and celebrate. It's right there, collective. My next card is in that of air. And in traditional tarot, we understand that air represents innovation, ideas, a thought process. It's the same here as well. Collective, we have the snake energy. And in some traditions, the snake represents medicine. And for that to be followed by the sun and summer card, it makes me feel like that this summer we can expect that medicine will be on its way. And that's here sooner than later. So I am going to resonate my energy there, and I encourage you to do the same. That snake energy is also one of things not being the same. shedding old way of doing things, shedding an old skin, and not only universally, but for some of us, it's going to be a personal shedding of how we used to do things, how we used to act, and how we even thought about some things. Some of us are even going to be doing different types of jobs because of this particular outbreak. And even in some cases, current jobs that we have, they're going to find that, hey, working at home is actually more productive and cost productive. So for some of us, our world is going to look a little bit different, and in some cases even better. Okay? The next energy I'm going to pull is that one of fire. And fire represents passion. And it's not only passion, but what we need as individuals passionately. And this is one of the Knight. And that's one of the most passionate cards you could pull. Look at the roses in the background. That's one of love and devotion. And if you look at this Knight closely, he has a tear running down his face. He represents that of pulling energy on his inner warrior, calling on that energy that we all have. Some of us actually have to do the right thing, even if it's not the most popular. We have to stand up for the people who cannot stand up for themselves. This is also that energy of the Knight, to where you have to kind of show the public, your family, that you're strong, even though inside you're crumbling, you're afraid. But this is to pull in on that energy, to pull yourself together and know that your ancestors are there to assist you. The next energy I'm going to pull is that of water. And that's where our emotions are. And in our emotions, we have the Oracle card. And you see that Oracle, she is in deep prayer, manifesting, meditation. So some of us have been deep in prayer and meditating and spending time with our crystals and loving and hugging on our loved ones, even though it's not the popular thing to do. We're doing it anyway, right? And I'm also getting on that Knight energy, like, even doing the right thing anyway. If you have like those neighbors that need your assistance, that I see some of us actually cooking for them, going grocery shopping for them, the ones that are considered high risk, just doing the right thing. I see a lot of us doing that. Now, going back to that Oracle energy, that's one of whatever you're meditating on, whatever you're, whoever you're praying to, whatever you're praying for, that's between you and spirit. That's between you and source. Leave that on the meditation table, so to speak. Leave that in the spiritual world. Don't bring it in and mix it with the news and politics and social media. It doesn't mix. It will not connect. As a matter of fact, it will muddy it. So whatever your prayer is, your manifestation, whatever you're resonating in as far as that higher vibration, keep it between you and spirit, and you wait for that answer. You wait for that response. Okay, the next energy I'm going to pull on, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, so the next, and this is obvious, so the next energy I'm going to pull on is what we need to give attention to, right? And what we need to give attention to, I have the guardian angel. And on the bottom of that Oracle card, it says, you are not alone. Now, At the end of each of my readings, I always say I absolutely adore you, and it's not a slogan. It is truly from my heart, and it is how I feel. And what was most powerful is when I got this deck and I read about that guardian angel. It says something along the line of, your angels think you are absolutely perfect in our imperfections. There is not an imperfect way for you to meditate or pray or to hope, wish, to give, to be sad, to be happy. There is no perfect way to do it in our eyes. But when our angels look at us, it's absolute perfection. And it read, they absolutely adore you. When I read that, that's when I knew that Spirit has been speaking to me this whole time to speak to you. And since that is in our energy collective of where we need to put in some work, this is trusting in the divine. This is trusting in those prayers, those hopes, wishes, and dreams, those call outs through our tears and suffering and fear, right? And even just the unknown, like what's next? The anxiety. Spirit is saying, call on me. I love you. Pray to me. I'll help you. Ask me, and I'll tell you. And this leads me to our next energy. And that's one of, where do we direct our energy, right? For those of us who are struggling in that area of, I prayed it, I've been manifesting in it, I've been doing all the right things, and I still feel anxious. Spirit, I still need some help. That's when we call on our elders' energy. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Now, this energy is one of, the thing with ancestral energy, they've been through what we're going through many lifetimes, because it's our ancestors. It's not just one person. If you could see what I see, it's like this lineup of ancestors who are behind us all, who are literally harnessing their energy towards us to pull from that. And I just keep hearing, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't want to say hate, but they do. They hate that we are going through this. Our ancestors hate that we are suffering. They hate that we will suffer a little bit more. But they are listening. The next energy I want to pull is out of the water guardian. As far as the things we need to let go of. And you see, the water guardian controls everything that is liquid. That includes the water that is in our blood, that flows through our system, our tears, our sweat. And those typically start to move physically within our body when we are at our highest of emotion. When we are overwhelmed, so to speak. So when your blood starts to boil with anger, it's because you're overwhelmed. When your face, when your eyes start to tear up and tears come from your face, it's because you're overwhelmed. When there's sweat on your brow because you're scared, or because you're working hard, it's because you're overwhelmed. And this energy is one of recognize it and be okay with it. Invite them in. Have a seat, anger, sadness, anxiety. Have a seat. But guess what? Just so you know, my water guardian has let me know that during this time, this is where I harness the power of my intuition, the power of my manifestation. So thanks for coming. Don't get comfortable. That's what the water guardian does. She tells you to visit that emotion, recognize it. And collective, just so you know, there's two things that happen during that time. It's not just that emotion of feeling overwhelmed. That's one. The second thing that happens is that also is the time in which you can grab on to that power of your intuition. Your message is in there to believe me. And the way you can grab it is to recognize when you are at your highest peak of emotion. Listen during that time. Understand your guardian angel is there and listen. It is also an energy of recognizing when you are at your peak. Even if it's joy, right? Because that's just not emotion of sadness. It's an emotion of joy as well. If you think about it, get to the root of that has been inside you all along. And if it's one of negativity, right? Anger, sadness, anxiety, worry. Go back to where it first started, root it up. So when you're at that peak, it doesn't feel like a peak so much anymore because you've recognized that trigger. So the last card pulled is our outcome. And that's one of the warrior. And if you look at that warrior, he looks like he is standing in darkness, but the warrior brings the light. And that's what Spirit is asking us to do, is to bring the light to your communities, to your job, to your business, to your family, to your children, to your grandparents, to your elderly parents. You bring the light. That warrior is not afraid of anything. The night harnesses that warrior energy. And for that to be the end, our outcome, it's no matter where we end up in this spectrum of this virus. Our end game is to be that warrior and to bring the light. Collective. I don't know about you, but I'm highly emotional. Let's keep that vibration on high. Know that our end game is that warrior. We are to bring that light. The center of our read was the sun. What? I wish you all so many blessings. Please take care of yourself. And I absolutely adore you.